some changes. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, it's like worth living, should I blast myself? I'm tired of being born, even worse, I'm black. My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a person to snatch. Cops give a damn about a need, bro. Pull a trigger, kill a nigga, he's a hero. Get it back to the kids who the hell cares. One less hungry mouth on the welfare. First ship them, don't let them deal with brothers. Give them guns, step back, watch them kill each other. It's time to fight back, that's what Hugh said. It ain't a secret of the seal, the facts. The penitentiary's packed and it's filled with blacks. But some things will never change. Try to show another way when you're staying in the dope game. Now tell me what's the mother to do. Being real to the bill to the brother in you. You gotta operate the easy way. Good evening, brothers and sisters. This is War Smith. I want to welcome you to my channel, the Black News Network. Here we teach Black transition back to Black. The culture is real, the voice is real, and it's of Black America. We're broadcasting Black culture, we're broadcasting Black life, we're broadcasting Black law. We're also broadcasting Black money. We need you to come back to Black. That's why we're here, trying to bring you back to Black here in San Antonio, Texas. Today is Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. This is the time of our broadcast. We also broadcast on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. I'm asking you to join me on both occasions, on multiple platforms, more especially on YouTube. I need you to subscribe to my channel, the Black News Network, the real voice of Military City, USA. All you do is go to YouTube and go to Black News Network -BNN. Also on Facebook under War Smith Bay. We would love to see you there. I mean, we are broadcasting for you, bringing you back to Black. Thank you so much for listening to my intro. Here we go. Today is a day to talk about 71 mass shootings in America. 71 shootings. That's quite a few shootings to be held in this small amount of time. 42 days, by the way. Today is the 46th day of the year, and we have suffered 71 shootings, mass shootings here in this country. The latest one was at Michigan State? Yeah, Michigan State University on Monday. We had 3 students to be killed by a gunman who they're trying to say that he's upset because he lost his mother a couple of years ago. You know, regardless of that, this brother took the lives of 3 students, which brought it up to 71 dead. That's quite a few people to die at the hands of mass shooters. Our job here in America is to try and get along, try and be peaceful, try and show trust, try and get along with people. It is such a challenge to not be angry about the things that are going on in America today. And in my opinion alone, which is, I always say, I do not own the rights to the music, but I do own the rights to what I say. We have to do better. And it's difficult not to be angry at what's going on in America today. Somehow we're going to get past it. We're going to make a way, because we have made a way all the way from slavery. This is Black History Month, and in Black History Month, there are certain things that we should pay homage to every February. But not only should we be paying that homage in February, we should be paying that homage year round, because Black history did not stop or start in the shortest month of the year. It's been going on. It's an ongoing thing, and it's every single day of a Black person's life. That's Black history. Every day you're on top of the ground is Black history. Even for those of us who have passed away, it is Black history. We have to acknowledge those of our ancestors and those of our future. Because what they were then, we are now. We don't lose the characteristics of our culture. We don't practice the characteristics of our culture. That is the problem. We stop executing the characteristics of our culture, which takes away from us teaching our newborns and our young men that are growing up into the culture today. Our job is to pass that lineage on to the future. That is what we do. That is our responsibility. That is where it comes from. This wisdom right here and this grayness on my face, that is where it comes from. It is our job to pass it on. And in order to pass it on, it needs to be done by you and me. And I ask you to join me in the plight and fight to get it done. To let our youngsters know that there is a history out here of our people, of things that we've done, and we do have a culture that we should never forget, that we should always pay homage to, and more especially, never ever forget our ancestors and where they came from. Some of the things that I wanted to talk about today is Black inventors, inventions and Black inventors. I'm only going to mention a few, even though there are thousands. Even the ones that are not recognized as Black inventions, we know we had a lot to do with bringing those inventions to fruition. So the first one I want to talk about is the disposable syringe. We know that Phil Brooks invented that. Now, I'm going to just mention the item that we use on a daily basis and the person who invented those items. And you and I know that a lot of the things, if we took out all the inventions that Black people put together in this country, this world would be in a significant loss. We would not be where we are. And today, you can see how people are trying to reinvent or redo some of the things that Black people did over the course of years, and it's impossible. They cannot do it. It is not possible for them to reinvent what some of our Black people did over the years. Even horseshoes. We look at horseshoes on horses. We don't realize that that was made by a Black person. It didn't just show up. Somebody invented that. Horseshoe, the horse bridle by L.F. Brown and Oscar Brown. They were horsemen who invented those things. The lawnmower, we know about John Burr, the typewriter, Marshman, Burring, Marshman. I'm sorry if I couldn't pronounce that right. We all know George Washington Carver and the Peanut Butter Man. Lotion and soap, George Washington Carver. What did they do before they had soap? What did they use to wash with before they had soap? We don't know, do we? Because a lot of the cleaning things that people use today were invented by black people. The elevator, Alexander Miles, the gas mask, Garrett Morgan. You can imagine how many lives were saved during World War II when the United States was involved in war when they were using chemicals. The dustpan, how life changes and how easy it gets based on the simplest invention. A simple dustpan had to be invented, and now we know where it came from. Folding chairs, we know that folding chairs came from black people too. Hairbrush, the elevator, lawn sprinkler, curtain rods, even the cell phone. Henry Simpson invented the cell phone. Another black man, great invention, but I ain't seen no money. I'm absolutely sure his family ain't seen none either. With all the use of cell phones today, every single phone is over $500. You're not going to find too many phones less than that are of certain quality, especially these iPhones that people use. Multi-stage rockets, even NASA has a lot to thank black people for. You seen the movie Hidden Figures? You seen the movie The Help? All these black people had so much to do with the things that are happening here in the world today. The Super Soaker, even our children have things that they enjoy every day that were invented by a black person. The refrigerator, if you're old as I am, you know what a cabinator is. And a cabinator is that thing where you set a block of ice on top of it and it keeps everything cool. The golf tee, and black people don't hardly play golf, but you had a black man to invent the golf tee, the guitar, but we use that a lot. Now the commode is something that everybody uses. If you tell me a person that don't use a commode, I'm gonna kind of remind you that this person living off the grid, because the commode is in everybody's house. But again, black people not getting paid for that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that we invent that we don't get paid for. And we're still doing things. We're still making things easy for America. You know, I watched my normal once a year watch of Malcolm X last night. And every time I watch that movie, something new rings out. And it was so sad for me to see that Brother Bane was the cause of Malcolm X's demise. And then it was the members of the nation that caused his demise as well. Those were black men that ran up to the stage and pulled the trigger. So they were doing the work. And if you really watch the whole movie, you got a chance to see Al Sharpton when he in his fatter self before he lost all the weight. Lyndon B. Johnson, you know, he was the president when John F. Kennedy was assassinated. And, you know, he never really declared a war in Vietnam. Well, actually he did. He declared war in Vietnam. And my point is, did he declare war on Black America as well? Because he was the reason he was president when Malcolm X died. He was president when Martin Luther King died, and he was president when the disbandment of the Black Panther occurred. And that was during the same time when J. Edgar Hoover was doing all the surveillance on Martin Luther King. And I did notice something else in that movie, that while Malcolm X, the day before he was assassinated, he was in a hotel room. Now, in that room, they showed that there was a bug on his lampshade. Now, nobody really knew what hotel he was going to. So how did the bug get into the room when nobody knew this is the hotel he was going to? Somehow this was something that was already decided upon. You know, this guy in Daryl, his name is Daryl Williams. He was killed by the police in Raleigh, North Carolina. It was another killing like Kyrie. They only suspended 6 officers, and then they said he died from repeated tasing. And now we are going to find out what's going to happen with those 6 officers that they suspended. Now, my whole concern is what has happened with the federal government since all these Black people, Black men and women, have been killed. As a matter of fact, assassinated by police or law enforcement. Let's go back and look at this right quick before I move forward off of the police. When Black people were released from the plantations, the white people had to figure out a way to get them back into indentured servitude and making them liable to get the crop out again. So they created slave patrols to go out and capture slaves that may have wandered in the sundown town or in a position where they shouldn't have been, to get them locked up and put back into the criminal justice system. And when you read the 14th, 15th, 13, 14, and 15 parts of the amendment, you'll see that if somebody commits a crime, then they can be locked up and put into this position. So they left a door open to move Black people back into indentured servitude. So what I'm trying to get at is, how did the police get to be the police? Now, there are 18,000 different police agencies in the United States of America. Every single one of them are sovereign in their own right. They get to design their way of policing. There is no oversight by the federal government on none of these 18,000 different police departments. And then the only thing that the federal government is doing is coming up with Asian hate crime laws in less than 30 days, when Asians were getting assaulted back a year or two ago. And now this year, we've had 3, 4 Asian men to go out and start shooting people. And now you hear nothing again from the federal government. But Black people have been getting shot all the time, and we can't even get the George Floyd Act passed. I don't remember the other words. I know it's the George Floyd Anti-Something Act. My point is, the police are functioning the way they want to. And there are certain cities and places in this country where black people won't go. And they can't go. And they know not to go. And they know not to come outside at night in those places if they live there, because they will be arrested or killed by the police. I'm only advocating that there should be oversight by the United States government. The United States federal government need to have a say in what these 18,000 police departments are doing. They are targeting people and nothing is being said or done about it. Black men are being assassinated on a regular basis, and nobody seems to give a shit about it. When it comes to people that should, in other words, we pay taxes just like everybody else. Why is it that our federal government won't enact laws, real laws, that make a difference in our life just like it does anybody else? People sit back and have watched black people suffer from the day they walked off the plantation till 2023, and nothing has been done to change it. You know, they prosecute 1 in 1,000 here, 1 in 500,000 over there. But there are so many people that done walked away from crimes against humanity, crimes against black people, and they have not had to do 30 seconds in jail. And then black people are being placed in jail at such an alarming rate at one period in time that it's unfreaking believable. Right now, you can probably find 20,000 or more black people in jail under suspicious content. They're in jail for no apparent reason other than just being black. They get charged 10 times harsher for the same crime white kids may do or white people may do, but the whites don't get the jail time. They get rehab, they get probation. The black person gonna get at least a year or two. And the federal government makes it worse by paying more money into the prison system than they pay into the school system. Black kids are not being educated. Black people, black kids, black girls, black boys go to school from kindergarten to the 12th grade under the public school system. And sometime, in my opinion, they come out dumber and dumber because they are not learning any damn thing. When you come out of school, you should at least be on your way to a college, or at least be on your way to a profession, or at least on your way to opening up your own business. There is no way you should walk out of high school and go home and sit down in front of the TV. You know, when I was growing up, there was no such thing as sitting down in front of the TV after school. You were out in the streets. You knew everybody and everybody knew you. There was a reason for that. That was life. You lived life back then. Nowadays, your life is confined behind 4 walls. Children don't do anything. They go home, they go in the house, and 9 out of 10 of them don't come back out until it's school time the next day. And then they bug their parents to do all these stupid things. And they don't learn social skills. They don't learn public skills. They don't learn survival skills. They don't learn the things that they need to know to be a productive citizen in any community. And you wonder why crime rate goes up. Its steady goes up Even though we got churches on every damn corner, crime rate still goes up. The numbers of the police goes from 2,400 in 2020 to 2,981 in San Antonio, Texas in 2023. The number still goes up. Crime still goes up. Churches still go up. Crime is still going up. Why is we doing all these social things to improve the status of living in a community, but nothing's changing? It's getting worse by the day. There's no way you could have 71 mass shootings, not 71 dead, but 71 mass shootings in 46 days. That's unheard of. What are the people doing that are in these positions to make the difference in our society's life? You go to church every Sunday, but yet there's still violence out there that's going up. You get increase the level of the police surveillance, but there's still violence out there. Apparently, it is not working. Something's not working. It is broken. The education system's broken. The police department's broken. The church system's broken. Nothing is working. We got to go back to the drawing board and figure out what are we doing in our society that's making the difference for better, not just lying in somebody's pocket. You know, certain black people go out and find the connections to get money to do certain things, and then they acting like they're doing this for a community, or they acting like they're trying to make a black race better, but before you know it, they putting this damn money in their pocket and they turning their back on what's actually happening out here. Just like people running for District 2 right now. We got some people running for that seat that are black that need to go sit their ass down somewhere. Because they're not in it for the people, they're in it for themselves. And that's just the bottom damn line. You are out there for yourself and you're making it worse for everybody else. So all I'm saying is, make up your mind. If you're going to do something for your community, do it. Stop bullshitting the people. Because that's what your platform is about. And I stay out of the way because I tell you on this, but I ain't going to come out and confront you to tell you that this is what you're doing, because you know what you're doing. And everybody around you know that's what you're doing. You don't have to be told. It's about soul searching. Search your own soul and clean up your own mess and get it right. And stop bamboozling people and lying to people like you're out there to do right by them when you're out there trying to do right by yourself. Lord help me. This is the Black News Network, the real voice of Military City. We come here to teach you about our culture, about our society, and about what is going on in Black America Day. We want to talk about black law, black money, black economics, black culture, whatever there is that's holding us back. And right now, the two things that need to change, in my opinion. One, white people need to get out of our way and stop holding us back from the jobs that we know we can do. Give us the jobs. Two, police need to stop arresting us for bullcrap traffic stops, like a damn air freshener hanging on the mirror, lying like we ain't got our tag on the front of the car. You just finding a reason to contact, a reason to engage with black people that you are envious of and that you want to arrest because they're doing well or better than you. This is the Black News Network, the real voice of Military City, USA, broadcasting broadcasting Wednesdays at 6:30 and again on Sunday at 3:30. I want to thank you for watching us. Please go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel and leave a comment on Facebook. And we appreciate you. Thank you.